Right, so here I have the Cobra dongle, something that I have mentioned in my previous videos, and it came in this neat little package, this snake-style box, and what you get inside is this USB stick, which is not just a regular USB stick, but actually a device which allows you to jailbreak your PS3. This was from the times when there was no other way to do it. Like there was no software Cobra yet. You had to actually use a device like this. And it's meant to be used with the firmware 3.55. I think the main advantage of this thing was that you could use it with your PS3 Slim model, and on top of allowing you to play PS3 backup games and load them from ISO files, you could also use it to activate the half-baked PS2 Softemu and try to run your PS2 games. And of course, we all know how that went and how laggy that emulator is. In my opinion, it's still fun to revisit. One more time, I'm gonna go through some of the games that I couldn't play due to region lock, and this device allows me to bypass the region lock and run any games I want on any region console that I want. So I'm gonna use it with this Japanese silver model today. So this came in with no firmware inside, so I had to actually program the special Cobra firmware, and the only one that has the PS2 Softemu is version 5, and after that they removed that feature because once the firmware 6, Cobra 6.0 was released, then it was meant to be installed with the PS3 firmware 4.2, I think, and at that time the Softemu was already gone. Another cool thing here is that this actually allows you to save games using Softemu. So I couldn't do that in the previous video, but apparently Cobra does some kind of special patching, and I don't know what kind of magic it's doing, but somehow it forces Softemu to recognize the virtual memory cards. So again, back then, if somebody wanted to play the few games that actually ran okay on that emulator, they could totally play it and save their games. And yeah, so it's a neat little feature here. I suppose at the time it was kind of cool and maybe gave some hopes. Another thing I wanted to address is that in my first video about Softemu, where I named it a Forgotten emulator, it attracted a lot of attention, but it also attracted a lot of criticism. People were saying like, bro, what is this? There's a better emulator, didn't you know? Like, you can just install the better one. Why are you using this old piece of crap? And you know, and other comments saying that this makes no sense. Like, bro, what's the point of this? And I just wanted to say that the reason I'm making these videos and why I'm testing this is I personally think it's fun to revisit something that existed at some point in time. These little gadgets that I couldn't afford, and now I can just get them for affordable price and just, you know, test them out. But if you think I'm putting all this effort and I spent 50 euros on this thing just so I could play the laggy unfinished emulator, then again, think twice before saying this, because I totally do not need this to play any games. This is just entertainment for me, really. This is just fun. Like, you could say it's for some kind of historical preservation purposes, or however you want to think about it, but like, I'm not some dumbass who just crawled out of a cave and decided, you know what, I'm gonna go back to 2009. No, this is not how it is. And yeah, this is probably gonna be my last video about Softemu, and it's true, there's nothing more that can be done with it in the end. Like, all I can do is test a few games and see what kind of glitches they had, and yeah, move on to something else. But like I said, it's just for fun. Anyway, so the way this works is you have to plug it in to your, like, this is already flashed with the correct firmware. So what I do is I plug it in, to the USB port, and this PlayStation already has the correct Cobra firmware, so just turn it on, and eventually this thing will start flashing. Like you see, there's a neat little logo in there. It's actually pretty cool. Now at first it's gonna flash red, and then eventually it should turn, I think, yellow, because I think it's being loaded right now. Right, there it is. Now it loaded, and what you do here is I'm gonna have to install a special Cobra manager, which I'm gonna install here. There it is, and after that you can use it for loading your games, basically. And of course, these are backups. You could also play burned discs, burned backups. Here's the Cobra manager, and what you do is you change the mode to PS2, and there you see all the games that you have. These are in ISO format. So I'm just gonna test these out. There's also settings you can go to, and when you can also disable this emulator, because by default it was actually disabled. You can change the region. Let's see what happens if we disable it. And you see now it's not showing up here anymore. Now we enable it, and it's gonna give us the message that the emulator is incomplete, slow, and has several problems such as hangs, graphical glitches, virtual memory card not working, menu not working, and it hasn't been updated since firmware 1.9. Now I'm not sure about this because I feel like we are using firmware 3.55, so I'm not sure why they're saying that it hasn't been updated since, because in firmware 3.55 the emulator has a different checksum, so something was changed. And also the slim models had apparently a problem with the controller, but this was fixed in the later Softemu version 4.01. But in any case, yes, I want to enable it. Then it will show up in your XMB, just like a regular disk. It will be recognized as a PlayStation 2 disc, and so you just boot it up like normally and it will work. And you can see the Cobra light went off again. Now it went back on, and now it's blue. And this means that it's active and the game is booting up, as you can see here. So yeah, pretty nice little gadget here, and probably was worth a lot at the time. Unfortunately or fortunately, it's not needed anymore, but this is a nice little piece of history though.
Yes.
I've never really believed in true evil. At least not until then.
Prepare to... Resistance is futile! I summon all the power of the dead!
You know what? You're toast, Ugly. You know, 10 to 1 says, that hurt.
Pay for dissing the dead.
Good riddance.
You're still breathing.
Damn, that felt good. No, you're through.
have worked with your father on his many expeditions in the Matrix. I am Abdul Wahid.
You know my father?
I am honored to have
I've
worked
never
with your
heard
father
of
on
him.
his many
Not
expeditions
when he
in
was
the Matrix. I am
talking
Abdul
loose.
Wahid. I am honored to have worked with your father on his many expeditions. See, they have written in his own hand. I am honored to have worked with your father on his many expeditions. Much faster. I am Abdul Wahid, sir. I am honored to have worked with your father on his many
But I have other
expeditions.
concerns.
I am Abdul Wahid,
For
sir.
a friend of
I
mine.
am honored to have worked with your father on his many expeditions. I am Abdul Wahid, sir. I am honored to have worked with your father on his many expeditions. Abdul Wahid, sir. I am honored to have worked with your father on his many expeditions. I am Abdul Wahid, sir. Please, if there is anything I can help you with, I may take care of your possessions or give you some advice. You will find me here, waiting for you.
I copy. Good morning, and welcome to the Black Mesa Transit. This automated train is provided for the security and convenience of the Black Mesa Research Facility personnel. The time is 8:47 a.m. Current topside temperature is 93 degrees. The estimated high cloud high 105. The Black Mesa compound is maintained at a pleasant 68 degrees at all times. This train is inbound from Level 3 dormitories to Sector C test labs and control facilities. If your intended destination is a high-security area beyond Sector C, you will need to return to the Central Transit Hub in Area 9 and board a high-security train. If you have not yet submitted your identity to the retinal clearance system, you must report to Black Mesa personnel for processing before you will be permitted into the high-security branch of the transit system.
The world was out of joint. I was hallucinating.
Max, what's going on?
Max, about what happened?
I would fuck.
Max Payne! Drop your weapons!
NYPD, freeze!
What were you thinking?
Back off, Payne.
Max? Max, answer me, Max!
Not fog. It's smoke. My God. Someone's in there.